Azealia Banks stirred up some controversy last week at New York City's Hot 97 radio station, calling out Iggy again. She claims that T.I. is a coon, and at some point she cries about, I don't know, something. But what was more ridiculous than that were her comments about Nicki Minaj. Listen up.
Nicki Minaj over the past 2, 3, 4 years has done so much to kind of create this like social presence and this like hold on just like, you know, like social consciousness.
Ah, yes. When we think Nicki Minaj, we think social consciousness. And what kind of consciousness? There's no better way to awaken the masses to the ills of the world than an ass implant. Listen, when the artistic fruit is hanging so low, anyone can snatch it and make it their own. You think when Eminem blew up, Mos Def and Black Thought felt threatened? No, because they made a conscious decision to speak about the immediate needs and struggles of their own people. If you have such a problem with Iggy coming into the culture and duplicating what you do, it's your responsibility to raise the bar. It's very ironic when you defend your identity and your background and how outsiders are stealing it when you do nothing in your music that solidifies who you are and where you come from. You think Iggy's gonna make records about black and brown problems? No. So why jump behind the mic and cry about Mike Brown and Eric Gardner when your music doesn't represent any of that? Iggy responded to the criticism via Twitter saying, "Now rant. Make it racial. Make it political. Make it whatever." Q-Tip responded by saying that hip-hop is indeed a socio-political movement. T.I. later added his 2 cents. Now, Q-Tip is absolutely correct. After this country convinced minorities to go fight overseas, many of us were left growing up in fatherless homes. So we took to the streets and created the hip-hop culture. Except why is it so vital that Iggy should know this, and yet we allow countless amounts of shitty, uncouth motherfuckers to ignorantly spew their trivial content? Why should Iggy be seated and educated when the rest of these people roam the hallways and ultimately become cautionary tales? But let Azealia Banks become an example for the rest of you. You can blame anybody as to why you're not in the position that you'd like to be in. You can point it out 1,000 times and you might even be 100% correct about it. But eventually, it'll become the limitation that you put on yourself. If you're so passionate about a topic that moves you to tears and it doesn't reflect in your art form, it just comes across as disingenuous.
So until y'all motherfuckers are ready to talk about what y'all owe me, whether the number 7 trillion or 8 trillion or 9 trillion, at the very fucking least, y'all owe me the right to my fucking identity and to not exploit that shit. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's all we're like holding on to, like hip hop and rap and like Bill Cosby or whatever the fuck it is. Like, that shit is fucking like too timely. That's too timely that like you have like Eric Gardner and Mike Brown and like
and then they throw Bill Cosby,
and then y'all fucking talking about Bill Cosby. Like, what the fuck?